How are we, fellow Reds? And welcome to this Manchester United preview of the upcoming match against Everton with us, Spen and Chaz. Before we get into it, please subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss a thing about Manchester United on this fan channel. We've had a bit of a break and had lots to go into today. We're also recording this today after my favourite day of the year, Pancake Day. I also know you're a fan, Chaz.
Big fan.
How did you get on?
Fan. Better than you, I'm sure.
Big fan. Oh, better go on.
Calls himself a Pancake Day fan, but he eats about two. It's pathetic.
What numbers are we talking then?
Oh, it's got to be 10 plus, surely.
10 plus. You're an animal. You're an animal. I had 3 delightful ham and cheese.
Yeah.
I had a little flip in there as well. Perfect toss. And then I had 3, this is good, Nutella, salted caramel ice cream, and banana.
You're not chucking
Amazing.
a classic lemon and sugar, just a little side piece?
No time for that. No time for that.
No.
Loved it. What were in yours? Something really fancy.
Well, the first one was spinach, mushrooms, wild garlic. I think there's ricotta or mascarpone. It's like a creamy. It's very good. And then parmesan grated on top. And then the next ones were parma ham, like slow cooked tomatoes, and basil and parmesan. And then dessert ones, I had obviously cream, banana, chocolate. Then I did a maple syrup and cream ones, and then some lemon and sugar classics.
Trying too hard. A big contrast there, but let us know, what do you have on your pancakes? Are you more team Spen? Are you more team Chaz with your pancake selection and volume? Well, give us a little comment about that. But yeah, let's get back into football after some Pancake Day chat. So we've got Everton on Monday. We've had a bit of a break from football. 8 p.m. at the Hill Dickinson and on Sky Sports. Monday Night Football in the UK, for those in the UK. This is going to be our first trip to the Hill Dickinson. I've actually, a few months ago, I drove past it and it looks really, really nice. Have you seen much of it, Jeff?
Just on TV, but I've heard good things, and like it's like not one of those new stadiums where it's like you're away from the pitch and stuff. I think it's quite tight and close to the pitch, which is nice for a modern stadium.
Yeah, it looks really, really nice. I caught up with some of the videos as well as they were building it and all that good stuff. So should be good. Should be a good trip and hopefully a good day for United. And then we'll get into the game. But before we do, a few notable things this week. Obviously, we've had a bit of a gap around football and FA Cup, which we'll touch on. But there's been some other things going on that we felt it was right to address. We're a new podcast. We're trying to keep this quite light and fun, but when some things happen around Manchester United, particularly when it's linked to our owner, for example, feel like we have to address it. So Chaz, Jim Ratcliffe made some comments this week. I think we've all kind of seen them now and had a bit of time to digest them. What do you think?
Yeah, I think probably echoes most of the podcasts that you listen to around United, and basically don't agree with anything he said in regards to the kind of the immigration side of things. Especially just like as a billionaire businessman, you're probably used to just saying things you want, but it's different when you become a billionaire businessman who owns Manchester United, which is the most followed club in the world. So you can't just say things off the cuff anymore and not expect a huge backlash. If he said that stuff as Ineos owner, like he'd probably get a bit of news, but not to the degree it has, where the Prime Minister's got involved and Burnham and things like that. So I think he's just got to remember what he represents now. And you just got to be a bit more careful. And like, I think 99% of fans, particularly from around the world, will, disagree. And I know you're the same.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've lived around the world, but very proud to be from around here as well. Like Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I've been a migrant in other countries as well, and just ridiculous comments. But there's some really good places to go and actually learn more about this. I know The Athletic did
it's a really good one,
on it, and there's some really good stuff on there. But yeah, from our side of things, it's we don't want our owner saying things like that.
No.
When I saw it, I think what worries me is because he's a clever man, right?
Yeah.
He's obviously a very wealthy man as well. So you think he would, know better. I totally disagree with his views, but just generally, he must know that what he's going to say, particularly to Sky, is going to get is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So
Also, the timing of it just
mad,
being, I mean, we had no game, so there was no games to talk about, no press conferences, no team news. Really bad
yeah,
timing in terms of no game or anything like that as well. So just again, even more frustrating that first of all they don't agree with the comments, but just timing wise, it meant that's all people would talk about, and you couldn't move on quickly because there was nothing else to talk about really in terms of actual matches. But as a kind of pure
yeah.
fan perspective,
Yeah, totally agree. Shame we even have to talk about it, and all the podcasts and channels that we follow, I've had to talk about it as well. You should know better. Ridiculous comments, and let's hope Manchester United can move forward properly and keep continuing doing the good stuff that they do in the world and in the community, and that Manchester United and certainly this channel is for everyone. So really want to kind of condone that as well. And unfortunately, another point we need to talk about as well, Benfica and Real Madrid last night, an alleged racist incident from a Benfica player towards Vinicius Junior. Obviously, we don't know exactly what's gone on there. We've looked at the game and some footage afterwards, but yeah, just it's bonkers that this stuff is happening in 2026 and in the game that we love so much. So again, we won't touch on it too much, but just conscious that we're a football podcast, football people. We love all that kind of stuff, and just yeah, Jazz thoughts again.
yeah, obviously it's no surprise, but there's no place for this kind of thing in football. Like it, it's been going on for since football's began by the looks of things, and obviously all in the 80s and 90s. But like how it's still going on when we're meant to be a kind of more progressive culture and society now, and it's still things like this are still happening. It's just yeah, I think kind of FIFA, UEFA, whoever it is, needed to be a lot more strict. Obviously, if it's proven that this player did say something, that they need to be a lot more strict with
Yeah,
punishments, not just a financial fine and a ban. Like something serious needs to happen. Also, the clubs. It's just same for the fans when the fans do it. Like it's not just banning that one person. It's like okay, let's ban them for the next 3 away games, 4 away games, or no fans in the stadium where it hit the owners in the pockets. Like that's the only way. Points deductions, anything like that. Like that's the way to stop this kind of stuff happening. Kind of in football stadiums and on the pitches, because otherwise, yeah, it's just the the punishments aren't there. I think at the moment to really try and stamp this stuff out.
totally agree. Well said. Yeah, I think Mbappe said something as well last night that the Champions League is a privilege, which we we definitely know at the moment as we've not been part of it. And I think I'd like to see some tough action. If things are
Yeah, proven. Yeah,
proven and that kind of stuff as well. But just wanted to touch on it again. Two topics that you'd hope we wouldn't have to touch on, but they're related to football and obviously our clubs and things. So just thought we'd mention it and getting into football a bit more as well. And not another great topic, but we've had a bit of a manager go around. Dyche sacked, Pereira in,
yeah.
Spurs with a new manager as well. Just it's chaos. Tuchel committing to England as well. All the manager roundabouts. What do you think?
The Dice one baffled me really. Like they brought in another guy who has got sacked for getting a team in a really bad position in Wolves, and I know you kind of think Dyche with backs against the wall, he'll find a way to turn it around, keep them up. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a very odd decision, but that's what they do over there at Forest. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go down now. I know when Pereira first came in for Wolves, he did quite well because I remember they beat us, but that wasn't a big thing last year. So I don't know, you never, it might work, but I don't know. I just feel like Dyche is probably a better person for a relegation fight than Pereira, but we'll see. And then the Spurs one, Tudor, I basically don't know anything about him. I remember him as a player, just from kind of random Champions League games and Football Manager. But like,
Yeah,
no, I don't really know anything about him. I've obviously seen on the news and stuff like his record is like dodgy at best, I'd say. Like he's not really managed to keep a job, and people say he comes in as a kind of firefighter, so maybe that's what he'll do. But it'll be interesting to see what he does. But we said it a few podcasts ago, like they're in a relegation battle, and they got Arsenal next. And if West Ham win, I think they're 1 or 2 points off the bottom three. So yeah, it's a risky decision. I think they had to sack Frank, but I don't know if this is the guy for it. I think this is time to call Big Sam, isn't it? When you're this close.
Sam on these holidays.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't know what goes into these decisions, but Forest and Spurs, from the outside, it looks like they just fire like that, but maybe take a little bit more time over the hiring process because,
Yeah,
like you said, you're bringing in managers who have, got question marks over them and stuff as well. Maybe just like employment in general, take a bit more time over the hiring process and try and get the right guy because you're giving these managers no time at all. And so you must have believed in them to bring them in the first place. But yeah, bonkers, bonkers. But the merry-go-round continues really with these managers.
yeah,
And then slightly different, but Tuchel out of the running for the Manchester United job then, if he's committing to
yeah.
England, do you think?
I think my thoughts were maybe did they do that like now, as in England, to because they were worried that he might get approached by United in the summer, or other big clubs are probably going to be looking for managers in the summer. So maybe it was just like let's just lock him in now, and he's kind of obviously enjoying the project. But um, I can't say I'm gutted or anything like that in terms of obviously I'm very pro
No.
Carrick at the moment. But like if we do end up with a new manager, I wouldn't be saying we need to do everything to get Tuchel because he's done well, but he's quite combative. Like he fell out of PSG, fell out of Chelsea. Like he's won stuff, but he didn't feel like the guy who can sit at United for more than 2 years. He just felt like he'd probably end up being another 2 year manager. Maybe he would be a slightly more successful one, but probably not a long term thing. So I'm not really bothered. To be fair.
Yeah, I agree with you fully on the United side, and obviously struggling to see past Carrick at the minute, and really hope he can continue what he's doing. As an England fan, I thought it was a strange one to kind of commit into. I kind of understand it a little bit, as you said, with a few, managers losing their jobs and a few people looking around. But I hope he doesn't. But if he has a shocking World Cup and just knowing kind of a little bit of what he's like and his personality with it, what happens then? Is he still fully committed? Is it just because he's at the top of a wave at the moment? I know a contract doesn't mean that he's going to necessarily stay, and he could still leave and all that good stuff. But yeah, bit of a strange one.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, some manager news. And then yeah, unfortunately, we've not had any football for ourselves as
Boring.
United fans because it's been FA Cup weekend. But did you manage to catch any of it, Jess?
Not a huge amount. To be fair, like I saw who was it? Macclesfield, Brentford, and like 'cause that was Monday night BBC, I think it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that one, and I was a bit gutting. Obviously, own goal. Like they did really well. It'd be nice for that kind of fairy tale to keep going. But I think they made a really good account of themselves again. And Brentford will probably kind of count themselves kind of so lucky. And then what was the big shock? It was who
Mansfield?
Burnley went out, didn't they? Who did Burnley lose? Well, I say big shock,
Yeah.
they're bottom of the league, but still, you'd expect them to get past them. But um, yeah, that was I didn't catch a load of it. I kind of just switched off because I'm like, we're not in it. It kind of annoys me. It's a competition I always like to do well in and win. So unless it's like a really juicy tie or I see there's like a bit of a giant killing going on, I don't really tune in too much because it just gets me a bit annoyed.
Yeah, I'm gutted here when I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, how are we not in it? And like you said, I think on the last pod, with Carrick at the helm as well, I would have been
Yeah,
intrigued to see if we could have had a go at it, but not to be. But yeah, I had my eye on Macclesfield obviously as well as a bit of a local team to here, which yeah, it was a shame. Like I say, put up a good fight, I thought. And then I thought Salford did pretty well against City as well. From what was it, eight
was it
nil
nine?
last time? I
Yeah,
think it
eight
was
or
stupid,
nine
and
nil
then
last
to
time. So yeah,
yeah, two nil
away
as
as
well.
well. Like yeah,
Yeah,
like they're doing. I think because of the thing like Wrexham and the TV show they have, I think you kind of think these clubs should just do that, like Wrexham have. But Salford are still kind of
yeah,
ticking over nicely. Although I did see Wrexham got
yeah.
Chelsea, so that's a nice little juicy draw. And I think they're around the playoff spots, Wrexham as well. So it could be a crazy story to be fair, but they've done a very good kind of business model.
Fair play to them with some of the madness that's going on with our owners and stuff. Well, just always.
Yeah,
Sometimes when I see that side of things with Ryan Reynolds, you just think, oh, you can't feel good about them and
yeah.
wish them well, at the
Have you
moment,
seen?
despite, lots of money and all.
Speaking of owners, did you see the Glazers are trying to buy an IPL team?
Yeah, I did
If
see
I was
that.
that IPL team, I'd be like, get the FOA, get the FOA, based on your investment knowledge, because they're basically, I mean, I think what I feel like is they're just copying the same kind of method they've done with us, and it'll just be a money drain. They've identified that the IPL is growing massively. Obviously, there's billions of people who watch it. So yeah, I'll be like, get away from me, Blazers. But
Unless they
so,
want
so
to buy
a
them
warning to
and
the
then
cricket fans out there.
move.
Yeah,
Definitely buy them, move away from us, maybe.
yeah,
But yeah, mad one. But yeah, let's get into the game then on Monday. So Everton, currently in eighth, doing really well. So
yeah.
last three games, they've just lost to Bournemouth in a close one, 2-1, beat Fulham 2-1 the game before that, and drew with Brighton as well. But they're definitely on the up. And last time we played them at Old Trafford, they beat
I
us
think
1-0 with 10 men.
we kick-started that run of them playing well as well. I think that performance, that win,
Yeah.
with 10 men, I think they went on a really decent run from then. And then like they kind of
Yeah.
like, I was looking at the table before, and I was like, oh, actually, they've done pretty well. Like I think they're 5 points off Liverpool. Um, so obviously they're not going to win this week, but like if they pick up some wins, like I think I saw on the Rio podcast with Steve House, and he was saying like, imagine if United, obviously looking like we could finish above Liverpool, the champions from last year, but if Everton put a bit of a run together, they could finish above them as well, and that'd be absolutely insane if the champions
They
Liverpool have not done that. So yeah, I'm here for that, but just not quite yet. They can go on another run after Monday. But I think they're a good, decent
yeah,
team,
they're
aren't they?
massively. Yeah, I think they're desperate to finish above Liverpool as
Yeah,
well for obvious reasons. But a friend of mine's an Everton fan, and I spoke to him just before this, and he basically just said that their tactic against us is to play with 10 men because it worked last
yeah,
time. In the wound of that result at Old Trafford. But yeah, I guess team news for them that I've picked up on. So I think it's their right back, O'Brien's suspended. So I think they've got some trouble there. I think we know that, Grealish is out for the
yeah.
season. I actually feel sorry for him. Obviously, I thought it was quite a brave move for him to go to
He's doing really
Everton, and
well,
he's had
wasn't
a
he?
bit of
Yeah,
a decent time of it.
yeah,
So yeah, bit of a shame. And then Branthwaite, I think we both liked is fit again. So he could come into the team. I think he will. What do you think about him? I think he's been touted with United a few times.
yeah. Like
Do you see him as United potential?
I think he gives me like a young, slightly more athletic Maguire vibes. Um,
Yeah.
was kind of like, but whether or not, I don't know. I guess we were linked to him like 2 seasons ago, and he's kind of got injuries. He's gone off the boil a little bit. Um, so I think if he stays fit and you see a decent, I think you basically, if we were looking at United, we were looking at him again. I want to see another season of him kind of performing really well before we put any bids in. I wouldn't want to do anything this summer. But he's looked good in the past, but it's not an area I think we need to strengthen right now anyway.
But yeah, I think generally just a team that we definitely, well, we have been doing, but show respect, a bit
Yeah.
of a tricky one. In terms of ones to watch, who stands out for you, Chaz?
I know he hasn't scored loads of goals, but I think that Beto has improved. Like
Yeah.
particularly on this recent run, he's been popping up with some more goals, and he's a bit of a handful. And I think even on the game, he didn't start the game we lost to 10 men, but he came on, and again he's just a handful. He's quite big. He's pacey. He's kind of like a bit awkward, I think, for defenders. And now he's started adding goals to his game. So I'd probably say, yeah, he's one to watch. How about yourself?
Yeah, I think, well, he's a good one. I think Barry's been keeping him at the team actually as well, front because he's been playing pretty well and scoring some goals. But is it Ndai, who on the left
I think he's
side? That I
been
think
linked to
again we've
us.
we've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, and tiny player. But I think the one for me is just who haunts me a little bit is Garner, just because I always liked him as a potential player at Man United, and he's been coming up with those assists and set pieces. So he's definitely one to watch for me. I think
yeah. I agree.
another one that's linked with a move back that we would probably pay over the odds for, which is crazy
Yeah,
when
I
we
kind of
had
don't
him
want to
there.
do that stuff again, unless it's like someone who's truly top class. I think we just need to move on and accept you made a mistake potentially. Because I was watching, I watched some of the Real Madrid and Benfica game last night, and watching Carreras on the. I was like, oh,
Oh,
that one stung. I was watching him. I was like, he scored a worldie the other day as well, and I was like Luke Shaw, and I was like, he is definitely better than Luke Shaw. At left back right now. And we sold him for like, wait, I can't remember how much it was. Not enough, like 15 million or something like that. Then we got a bit of a buyout sell on
honestly.
clause, and it's just like, that's yeah, annoying. But yeah, we need to move on.
Things are looking a bit better on the transfer side, but yeah, we've had some stinkers, haven't we, in terms of buying and selling.
Yeah,
And he's one that oh, we're just going to go to Real Madrid now.
yeah,
Oh, perfect, perfect. Yeah. And then on the United side, I think Carrick said actually in a press conference last time that Mount and De Ligt were on their way back. It looks like Mount actually was in contention for this one. De Ligt probably less likely.
yeah,
And also Harry Maguire is, he picked up that injury against West Ham, but he has been training,
yeah. I
so
heard that one
we'll
wasn't
see. He's kind of
too
be.
bad of an injury. I heard it was more like
Mm,
a precaution slash a tactical kind of change that they made. So I I think he'll probably start. Given that also we've got like it was 12 days since then, so I suspect he probably will be in the
yeah.
team on Monday. That's my prediction anyway.
Here we go. Yeah, and he strikes me as one. He's a bit of a Bruno character, right? Where I think if he can play, he will play, won't
Yeah,
he?
especially once he's got back into the
So
team after kind of being on the periphery for such a long time. He's playing really well. I think he'll be, yeah, doing everything to make sure he can, even if he is playing with a slight bit of pain. He's the kind of guy you suspect he will just like try and run it off.
yeah, particularly like you say with Euro kind of looking good, and then
Yeah,
Delict on the way back as well. It's definitely something that he's probably going to want to stay,
yeah,
keep that place. So yeah, that's fair enough. A good shout. And then we know Dorgu unfortunately is kind of still out.
yeah.
But yeah, well we got into it. But all right then, predicted lineup for you. I think you've kind of hinted a little bit of something there. But what do you reckon?
Yeah, obviously I don't need to say it, but Lemon's in goal. And then I'm going because we've had a bit of a break and we've had a bit more time on the pitch and maybe more time for character to look at some players. I'm going to go Mazraoui right back. Just 'cause I think
Right.
Dallo had a bit of a iffy game against West Ham. And
Yeah.
then obviously Martinez. I'm going to go with Maguire because I think he will be fit, and then Shaw left back. Then the midfield. That's not changing. Kobe, Cass, and Bruno. And then I am going to change it. I think we mentioned it on the review of the West Ham game. I think because I think Everton will set themselves up in a similar way, and they will have seen that game and kind of tried to apply and make the pitch tight. I think I would start Šeško, then I'd have Brian on the right, and I'm going to go Ahmad
Yeah.
because I think he's a better crosser and he's more direct. So he will feed Šeško better than Kuna would, but then Kuna would be great off the bench. So that's my predicted slash what I would want to see as well. So yeah, I think maybe the only one that Carrick won't do is potentially the Mazzarri one, but I think the other one probably, I think Šeško will start, and I hope he does.
You are keen to get Mazraoui in. I know we both like him. What do I think? I don't think he'll put Mazraoui in. I think he'll stick with Dallo. I think there is a question mark over Maguire. You have kind of convinced me a little bit that actually I think he might, fight back and take that place. I did probably think that Euro would maybe get the nod there. So I'll be interested to see what he picks. And then the only other thing for me was what you said. I think he'll learn from the West Ham game. And I think Šeško comes in and we get excited
Yeah,
because we love him and I'm dying to see him give it a proper run and
yeah,
see what he can do because I think he could be a real handful for them. And I think if they're struggling at right back as well, I could see a bit of a Ahmad
yeah,
stroke Shaw combination down the left, putting some balls in, Šeško on the end maybe as well. So yeah, not lots of changes for me.
yeah,
Obviously a question mark over Maguire, and then hopefully we see Big Ben come in.
yeah.
All right, team's done, review done, predicted score. What are you going for Monday? Had
I
a bit of a break on the back of a draw.
I'm going 2-1 United. I
2-1.
think it'll be tight because I
Yeah.
just think Everton, like West Ham, set themselves up really well, like very compact, very defensive. Will probably mainly try to hit us on the counter. It'll be kind of one of those mid-low block tests that everyone's saying we have to pass. I think it's another one of
Yeah.
those. So yeah, I'm going 2-1 and Šeško to get a brace.
Oh, okay. Another Big Ben podcast coming up.
Yeah,
I like it. Uh, I So I'm going to say 3-1 actually, is what I kind of thought before this. One, because I'd love a clean sheet, but I just don't have full confidence yet. And I think we can get 3 because I think we are a bit stung by that result. And I think with a bit of a break and a focus on it, we'll really want to kind of put that right and react. So I was listening to Ahmad on the Manchester United podcast today, and he was mentioning it as well that you're a bit upset after the last result, which is a good sign,
Yeah,
because it was a good point, but we don't want them feeling too chilled. So I do think we'll get a reaction. I also think Šeško will score. I think Bruno will get a goal, and Ahmad, I actually just think
he's
will
due
get
a
a
goal,
goal
isn't
that I
he?
think's been coming for it.
Yeah,
I think so. I think so. And I've touted Barry for them to score their one,
big buzzer.
which obviously I hope doesn't happen. Yeah, big Baz up front. So yeah, I'd be very happy with 2-1. I just want a win, get back on track, but a bit of an emphatic 3-goaler would be nice. But again, both predicting a United win
Shock.
in Carrick ball. So yeah, shocker. Long may it continue. And then other games from the game week. So some biggies. City Newcastle on
Yes.
Saturday. Thoughts on that?
Like Newcastle are a bit up and down. Like when Gimenez is playing and Tonali playing, they're a really good team. Um, and Gordon's been playing well. So like, you just think, okay, maybe they could get something off City. But then is this the time City start clicking into gear after kind of that late win and then a comfortable smashing of Fulham the other week, and then like that's 3 in a row they've won like now. So I'm going to have to go as a City win. But I think it'll be a tight one.
Boo.
Yeah, I think City will win it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what about you? Are you looking for an upset there
Yeah.
or?
I like to say, obviously, I like to see that City aren't very convincing at the moment, but they're very hot and cold. So I think there's goals in that game because I think, like you said, Newcastle are very similar as well. So I can see, I think it's one to watch because I think it would be a good game. But I probably do see City kind of edging it and then carrying on to put the pressure on Arsenal because then on Sunday we've got potentially the Saka show,
Yeah.
signing his new contract against Spurs. That could be ugly for Tottenham.
Well, I guess this is the thing with this unknown of this Igor Tudor. Like, no one knows what sort of football he plays. Like, no one knows what he's going to do. So, I'm still predicting an Arsenal win, but you never know. Like with a new manager, like a new balance, a new tactic, a new style, something that might surprise Arteta. But I think Arsenal are still just a bit of a boring machine at the moment, um, where they'll probably still win it. Um, but to be fair, they have started to score a few more goals in the last couple of weeks, a couple more from open play. But yeah, I think it's probably going to be an Arsenal win. Again, going back to the Igor Tudor hiring, it's like maybe just bring him in after this game because you're literally giving him the hardest, most pressured game for Spurs in a
Yeah,
season, and you're kind of near the bottom of the league and they're top of the league. Like,
yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. Just maybe just leave it a week, chuck one of the assistant managers in or something like that, or a youth coach, and then it's just a free hit, and then bring in this new guy. But that's me, not the football club owner. So
No, I think it's just mad to think that there's that game and obviously them coming in and maybe they're looking for a bit of a character reaction.
yeah,
I'm worried if we don't actually sign Carrick Lantern that he might get tapped on the shoulder by Tottenham as a more
I've
longer
heard
term
people say
manager.
that. Yeah, yeah, because obviously he
Yeah,
played for them, and if he does really well here for a sustained period, but then we decide not to go, then I reckon people will be. You can kind of imagine him at Newcastle, at Spurs, at these kind of
yeah,
second tier clubs, if that makes sense. Like, yeah,
yeah. But yeah, surely on Sunday Saka's scoring as well, right? And doing like the money spreading
yeah,
celebration or
like
something
I saw that 5 year
after his big.
contract, 300 grand. I was like, I I know he's a good player, and I just don't think he's been very good this season. Like,
No,
he's got like 5 goals and 6 assists or something like that. Like in the team that's top of the league, like and he starts pretty much every single game. It's like I don't know. I don't think he's world class personally. And I don't think he's worth 300 grand a week.
right.
But there we go. That's me.
Is that because you hate England and you don't want him to perform at the World Cup?
I'm not worried about them because Scotland are going to win it. So That's fine.
Oh,
But
watch this space for a World Cup pod coming
yeah, yeah.
soon,
Um,
where we are no longer friends.
but I just don't think he's as good, or has been as good this season, particularly to justify 300 grand a week. But I'm sure he could turn it around again, and he does always play well for England, to be fair.
Yeah, like I think he's obviously got it right, and I totally agree that he's not really been showing it that much of late. And I thought the contracts are a bit curious in terms of the timing. I didn't know kind of who wins on which side. You know, obviously Saka's had a few injuries, so maybe he's just trying to tie down a bit of employment for
Yeah,
5 years. But he also has probably, some big, at least one or two big contracts ahead of him. So could he have waited a little bit and maybe just seen how the season ended and what was out there? But he's an Arsenal guy, isn't he? And probably wants to stay there. So yeah, good luck to him.
yeah,
But yeah, it was a strange one. And I think he's got to score on Sunday for me. At least one,
yeah.
maybe two. Yeah. But back to the Everton game, and like to do this in the previews, but bit of challenge Chaz trivia,
Oh
as I'm
God,
starting to call it now. You ready
no,
for this
no.
one? It's an easy one, and I thought, right, we're playing Everton. Let's link it to an Everton person that has a link with
Phil
United.
Neville.
David Moyes. Well, yeah, there's a few. I was going to go down that route, but no, let's stick with the manager. So, what I want to know from you is a guess on his win percentage at Manchester United.
I know it's better than Amarin's.
That's not
I don't think it's
difficult.
actually that bad in the new world. It's very bad in the old world.
Stop.
I'm gonna
You're
go.
padding, Chaz.
I think Fergie's like 68 or something like that. I'm gonna go 51.
Oh, that's a good effort. Yeah, I'd say you've hit the inside of the post with that one, probably. 52.9%.
Oh, that was clear. I always went 53, and then I changed last second. Oh,
Yeah.
not bad. Yes, I
And you were
was
in the
Amarin's
game.
38. Have you got that
Well, I was going to say in the game of higher and lower, you were right that Amarin's lower. So what, 38? I'm going to tell you it's lower than
there? Is
that.
it? Was it like 36
Yeah,
then?
lower?
Lower. It can't be in the 20s, surely. 31.
No, it's
That is
31.9%.
disgraceful, isn't it?
Honestly, we used to talk about it all the time, annoyingly, not on these pods, but I don't know why we loved him so much or stuck with it for so long, because that is a dire stat. And obviously there were different circumstances and stuff, but that's bad, that, isn't
I
it?
think it's because he had a really
31.9%.
good song, didn't he? It's probably why.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah. But so did Ollie as well.
Yeah, true.
But to be fair, Ollie did well. One more on Moyes. How many trophies did he win at Manchester United?
Just the Charity Shield.
Correct. What year? For bonus point?
It would have been 20, would it be 2013 or 2014? 2014.
13.
13. Ah, because it's the start of
Yeah.
the next season, yeah.
Yeah. I remember being at that title win at Old Trafford, and then obviously him coming in and stuff as well. Yeah, Community Shield was his only trophy,
Yeah.
and 52.9%. But yeah, that was not bad actually, hitting the post with the 51%. But yeah, let's leave it there. Getting ready for Monday against Everton. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you guys think? As always, please comment, please like, please subscribe. It really helps the channel, and it makes sure you don't miss a thing as well from anything to do with Man United. Just want to say a big thanks for watching or listening, wherever you're watching or listening, and come on United.
Go United.